Running in circles is extra hard in the sand. Today's vlog at 861.
Good morning, it is Saturday. I'm taking a bit of a self-care Saturday, mostly a sleeping self-care Saturday. I did do a little bit of work this afternoon. It is currently 4:15 p.m. Wow, I don't have a lot of time left. I'm actually going to be going to Sonia's book launch here shortly. I don't know if it's a book launch or like promotional event. I'm really not sure what for sure is happening, but basically it's an illustrated book on Serbian scientific women or Serbian women in science that Sonia did all the drawings for and the branding and everything, and it looks really, really nice. It was done with Serbia's #1 publisher. I don't really know a lot about the Serbian publishing scene, but I'm looking forward to going and supporting her this evening and chilling out and understanding about half of what's said. The French half. The Serbian half, probably not so much. But I figured that I'd make a really simple video today. I'll show you a little bit about that, and of course I will link to the book below and or Sonia's Instagram just to make sure that you can find it. She's just an awesome illustrator and really fun person in general. Anyways, but go see her tonight. In the meantime, I thought I would do just a little bit of an update. Obviously, I've been talking a lot about sleeping. I've been working really hard on putting this whole thing together. I'm a little bit behind on, I still am way behind on my audiobook for my Kickstarter that I really need to get on top of. So let's do a little bit of an update on Jay and what I've been up to and where I'm going as far as I can tell you and what's happening. I'm not particularly thrilled with the lighting situation that I have yet, and there's a good reason for that. I talked about a couple little things that I want to get going in the Chateau. I've promised to do a tour. I will do a tour. I might even do a tour before I leave to this wondrous location that I'm going to be going to next that I can't talk about. But the issue was that Prashant and I were talking about it. He was going to help me kind of figure out how best to do it. And then he left on his last-minute surprise trip to Australia, which I'm excited to hear more about in person. But the problem is that he's going to be landing at the same time that I'm leaving. I'm not going to see him for another little bit. But when we get back together, the idea is to get a little bit more of like a consistent lighting. You can tell the colors of these two lights are a little bit different. I can change the color of that one to whatever I want, but it's really hard to match temperatures because as the brightness changes, so too does the temperature, which is really, really annoying. And actually not even the temperature so much as the color itself. Well, that guy is a stable constant, and this one is just plain white, which I can gel and make better. All that to say, one of the things that I've been working on for a long time that's been exhausting but really, really rewarding has been the Chateau. Having a space that is comfortable and livable and well organized and just put together and soft and fluffy at every turn, because everything in here is just cozy, has been phenomenal. I'm really, really, really grateful for it. Just a couple more things that I want to get done, including I want to put some figure out how to get some light strips under here to properly illuminate the pictures behind me. Maybe even get some lighting going on around the bed, and there's just a lot that I would love to do with it, but I think I'm gonna have to tinker away at it over time, especially as things go kind of nuts over the next month or two, just with other life stuff. Some of that other life stuff is, most of it I can talk about. There are travels coming up. Obviously, I still haven't gotten my visa for India yet. That's turned out to be its own mini nightmare, so I'm going to be working on getting that taken care of. Supposedly I can do it online. I've heard that multiple times. It's just everywhere I go, I find that I have to do it through actually going into the consulate. If I can figure out a way to get that done on the internet, I will get that done. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go in when I get back from wherever it is I'm going next. Wherever it is I'm going next will be revealed when I get there. And for those of you who are like, are you going to vlog from wherever you're going? Are you going to vlog from India? I haven't stopped vlogging for like 861 days, so I'll probably keep going. I wouldn't worry too much about that. The linen sheets that I got, or maybe it's just the duvet cover, I'm not really sure, leave a nice linen dust all the time. Does anybody know if that linen dust ever ends? Or have I cursed myself with perpetual linen dust? That's a problem. On the rest and exhausting myself side of things, if you're a recent viewer, you may not realize that I've basically just been, vlogging every day takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of mental energy, as well as just forces you to go out, do stuff. You know, it's very rare that I just sit in my room like I have today and get a little bit of work done, drink some coffee, and only make a video like this. And so a lot of it comes down to having had like multiple jobs. I still have multiple jobs. Then I'm working on paring down the ones I don't really want to be doing anymore and keeping the ones that are interesting and make good vlog content. But this is very much a new thing for me to be making videos and considering that as my full-time gig. Basically, I actually have a video on this that I can link below where I use M&Ms to try and detail my schedule, but a lot of it comes down to, there's an ideal world where I sleep 7 hours a night, but I really wasn't doing that for a long time. I was sleeping, 4 or 5 hours a night, and then then, doing bike tours, teaching English, doing web development, translation, voice acting, just a variety of things. Some of which were fun, some of which I had to do just out of sheer necessity. And then vlogging in the midst of that, trying to find a fun video to tell throughout that day, while also sharing my life. Like, this is where I'm at, this is where I think I'm going, this is what I would like to do. And that's what this is behind me, is my new goal board. It's the goal map. I used to have a really big goal board on this wall, kind of detailing where it was that I was hoping I could go. And then I made this thing as a new way of thinking of it. This is actually kind of more how I think about it. So on that front, we've actually made some really cool progress. All of these personal goals that I had, this is the ship of personal goals and this is the ship of like professional goals, all of these have been knocked out. These personal goals also kind of align with the vlog. It's really difficult not to conflate your personal life with the vlog. I'm not sure how not to do it to some degree, but I made it to the 40 country goal that I wanted before the end of the last season, and we just finished the Chateau, so I marked that one off. Down here, Agnar's box is my ongoing nightmare of writerly discontent. Hopefully we'll get somewhere farther with that sooner, but it's just an endless loop of trying to finish this book. And then another one that I was thinking about writing a book about my life in Paris, why I came here, how I got here, all that stuff, like kind of the anecdotes and the advice, if I have any, to share. And that also is kind of stalled just because I feel like who cares? I feel like I shouldn't be writing any nonfiction biographical type stuff until I'm at least 50. That may not be true. I could probably get around to writing that. If you're interested, keep encouraging me to do so, hopefully in a positive way. And I'll definitely think about it. But over here, the analogy, if you forget, is the sea of the unknown. So as you set sail from the shores of the known, the way that life is kind of prepackaged and handed to you as you grow up in Western civilization, or as I grew up in Western civilization, these boats are constructed with the goal of getting out and finding a life that I really would rather have, the one that I would make for myself. But getting there is there's a lot of unknown. And I think of it as like out here with the Paris side of things, you can think of like the top of the Eiffel Tower as like a lighthouse way out over the horizon. You can see it blinking, but you have no idea how you're going to get to it. So these are different islands that I'm hoping to find along the way, some of which we're getting really close to. For example, like the full-time creative island, I put that a little bit closer. We're basically there. I mean, that's what we marked off. That's the bottle that we popped. Pretty much found this island. I'm still exploring that island and trying to figure out how to really make it work, but we've hit that. 100,000 subs. I mark this as a professional box out here, not really an island. That feels much farther out. We'll see if we get there. And then an island way out there would be 1 million subs. And of course I put a little submarine next to that one. You have like a film production company down the line, appearing on different shows, being a traditionally published best-selling author down the line. Natasha beat me to that by a long shot. Natasha, my friend, if you didn't see with her book recently, I will brag on her for a second, is a New York Times best-selling author. Look. She's a New York Times bestselling author now. This is amazing. You should grab her book. Anyways, Natasha aside for a second, I would love to have that same tag associated with me someday, so that would be cool. French citizenship is out there somewhere. That's a good 4 or 5 years away. Will I make it? Depending on whether or not I pay my taxes. Need to get on top of that. And then of course, like getting a Paris apartment. Like I want to have my own apartment. I love this space. I'm excited to have it. I'm planning on living here for another year or two, but I would love to actually have like a real kitchen and a space to host, and obviously my own like studio space, just a lot of really nice things that I would like to have that do not fit within this tiny little apartment. But I'm really, really grateful for what I have here, and I'm not leaving this anytime soon. That's kind of how that looks going to the future. But going in the past, like what it took me to get just these ships launched and heading out that direction, it was a lot of work, it was a lot of risk. And coming here, not knowing if I would be able to even work, not knowing how long my visa was good for, not really knowing anything about this leap I was taking into life in Paris, with a lot of stuff clinging to me as I did so. It took a lot of energy, and I was already at the end of a long series of some pretty rough, dark years, and coming out of, I would say, the darkest period of my life to date. And so I'm still recovering, and I'm still working on that, and I haven't given myself any time or space to really recover, as I've been barreling forward and just trying to survive. And now that I'm exiting that mode, it's okay, like let's calm down a little bit and try to sleep. And so that's more or less it. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of details. Everything's been very well documented over the last couple of years if you want to go back and watch all those vlogs. But that's kind of where I'm at with that. And we'll talk more about the goals for the future, where I'm hoping to go, how I'm hoping to get there, and buy some new champagne bottles and kind of get everything settled in January is my plan. When I get back from India, we'll revisit the goals and kind of revise them and try to move forward into 2019 in a positive and, with hopefully truly attainable goals moving forward. There's just a lot that I would like to be doing in life in general, and there's a lot that I would really want to get back to writing more. I want to spend more time writing, but that also feels really daunting. And I don't know, I just need to kind of reassess where I'm at. Like I spend a lot of time thinking about and dwelling on the stories that I want to be telling, specifically with the writing side of my career and the fantasy and science fiction that I just want to dive deeper into. But then also want to keep traveling, especially to see friends and family. I think that's a really big push for me. And that's also a source of internal conflict right now. Not even conflict, but it's like as I'm slowly and steadily establishing myself here in Paris and building more and better friendships and a sense of community and a place to live, which just takes a long time no matter where you move. Making friends as an adult is challenging. I've shared this before, but my thing for this year is wanting to make sure that when I travel, if I travel, it's for friends and family first and foremost. And it's already been really good to be able to do that. To go see my sister, to spend some time with Prushan coming up, to go see friends in London around the time of VidCon, and some other potential trips coming up. Instead of going with the express purpose of just seeing new places, like just reinvesting in friendships and in relationships, because I have not done the best of that over the last few years, especially when like I said, I had my head down and I was really just in survival mode. I haven't always been the best friend in the midst of that, and so I want to make sure I'm getting better at that. This kind of took a convoluted turn. Hopefully everything makes sense still. But yeah, life is very, very good right now. We got through the Chateau, like I said, and popped that bottle. If you're unfamiliar with the bottle popping, I can try to link to that as well. And then also popped the bottle for full-time creative, like we talked about over there, which is basically just my way of saying, like, I'm making enough through this whole thing right now to feel like I can actually relax into it a little bit more. I want and need it to keep growing. I would like to continue to build on what we already have. It's definitely a goal on the road to many more, but it's one that's worth celebrating, one that's worth sharing as we do go. So thank you so much for being a part of that. The other one that we popped was back at VidCon in Anaheim, and that was for the 10,000 subs, which is really exciting. And we're almost to 20,000, which is great as well. But we can talk all about that some other time. Anyways, life here in Paris is very good. I'm doing pretty well. I hope this all makes sense. The whole shot on the stairs probably doesn't really work very well. We'll see when I actually go to edit, but I'm just kind of playing around and experimenting as we go. So do look forward to a couple of things coming up, but especially the Chateau tour. I think I'm gonna do that even though I'm missing a couple small elements, and then we'll just kind of build it out as we go. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday, wherever it is you are. My Saturday is going slowly and relaxedly, and I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning for a Sunday in Paris and a Monday wherever it is you are, and that is the time vortex in which I live. And we'll just end with some footage from Sonia's thing, and make sure to check her out below. And adios, à demain. I'll see you tomorrow. What's your book about, Sonia?
It's about famous Serbian women who changed our history and lives, I guess, today. So I'm very excited. Vece gore. So there are a lot of Serbian people today written it in French and in Serbian, and I'm very excited actually. So yeah, I was drinking whiskey before, now I'm okay.
That helps a lot. That is a known cure for nerves. Do you have a copy of your book? I'll be able to see a copy of your book later.
Yeah, it's upstairs.
Okay.
It's upstairs. So yeah, but I showed you the book the other night.
Yeah, but we didn't put it on the blog.
We didn't.
No,
So
so-
it's upstairs.
Okay,
So yeah,
we're gonna
Elena's
take a
up
look.
there as well.
Congratulations,
So,
and
thank you.
good luck welcoming everybody to your
Thank
party.
you. Thank you for coming.
Of course,
Ciao.
my pleasure. I'm just gonna sit in the back and pretend I know, like I know what's going on. That's my plan for tonight. Sonia, great job. I only stood half of what happened there, but it was really nice to see. I'm really proud of you. Good job. It's a really cool book. If only I could read it, but I appreciate everything that went into it, and I think it's a wonderful project. For those of you who haven't checked her out below, make sure you do. And otherwise, I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. That's my whole story.